And I think we've all been here. It's when the do-it-yourself copy works until it doesn't. And the reason why I say we've all been here is because I've been here too. Welcome to Seven Figure Copy, the show where we refine your messaging so it reflects the level you're now operating at with clarity and confidence. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for established, expert-led female business owners who know their work is exceptional but suspect their website and sales copy may be underselling the caliber of what they deliver. In each episode, we'll explore how strategic, ethical copy elevates your website, sales pages, and core messaging so your words communicate trust before someone ever books a consult or starts a conversation with you. If you're ready for a trusted partner who helps you clearly articulate what you do and why it matters, then you're in the right place. Hello again, everybody. My name is Gina Whitehouse. I'm the host of the Seven Figure Copy podcast. And over the last few episodes, we've been unpacking something that happens at a very specific stage of business growth. In episode 37, we talked about the marketing shifts happening right now and why established business owners can't rely on the same strategies that once worked years ago. Then in episode 38, I met with Jan Ditchfield and we talked about how businesses naturally outgrow the strategies that built them. After that, in episode 39, we looked at the signs that your website messaging may have outgrown you and your business. And then I had two guest episodes with Shauna and Kathy where we talked about how that misalignment starts to show up in your brand and even in the operational side of your business. So today I want to talk about something that I see happen a lot with established business owners. And this is the moment where self-auditing your own copy stops working. And I think we've all been here. It's when the do-it-yourself copy works until it doesn't. And the reason why I say we've all been here is because I've been here too, right? Think about this. In the first year of your business, you write your own copy, and that makes sense, right? Because you just have to get started. And I like to say, progress over perfection, right? You just have to get your business started. You have to get a website together. You have to put it out there. All right. Also, in this first year that you are getting started, you're learning your client's language. You're learning who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. You're starting to understand maybe some of the hesitations or objections that they might have to buying your offer. And you're really just figuring out what resonates with your target audience. But eventually, over the years, something begins to shift. And the challenge is no longer writing the copy. The challenge actually becomes seeing that copy clearly, looking at your messaging and seeing it clearly. Why? Because you are so close to it. You're so immersed in it that it becomes hard to step out of it and look at it objectively when your business starts to evolve and change. So you've heard me give the analogy before, I'm sure, if you've listened long enough, about being inside the jar trying to read the label. That's being inside your business and trying to step out of it and understand what's happening and what needs to shift to get you to that next level. Because what got you to where you're at right now is not going to get you to that next place that you want to be. And you start to feel it. So many of you have talked to me about this, how you're starting to feel like, okay, something's changing, something's shifting, but you don't know what it is. You don't know where to go first. You don't know what to change first. You just know that it's getting harder to sell your programs, your offers, your services. And over time, your programs, offers, and services have evolved and changed. And so has your target audience also. So the reason why self-auditing stops working is just because you are too close to it. Again, you're in that jar trying to read the label. There's another thing that happens as you become more experienced in your work too. The more you become an expert at what you do, listen here, this is important. The more you become an expert at what you do, the harder it actually becomes to explain things simply. Did that resonate with you? I think it may have for a lot of you because we're just so in it, right? And when we're trying to explain what we do, what I found this for myself is you start to skip steps, right? And you start to assume that people understand things that really only make sense in your head. I've been here. When you try to explain something and you get like that deer in the headlights moment, they just look at you with your eyes open. They're like, what? They're like, wait, what do you do? And then you find yourself backpedaling and you're thinking in your mind, how do I explain this clearly? Okay. See, your messaging, it feels obvious to you. But it can actually feel very unclear to someone who is encountering you for the first time. Okay. So most established business owners, they don't actually need help writing words. They really just need help seeing the message more clearly. Now I want to go into some signs that will tell you that you have reached the limit of self-auditing your own copy and your messaging. So these are some things that you might notice. Things like you've rewritten your homepage headline 5 times this year. Okay. You may be tweaking your website right before sending someone the link because you thought, oh gosh, I forgot to add this, to my page, or, oh, I didn't update my, my pricing or whatever it is. Okay. You're tweaking it right before you send someone the link. Another sign is you may be changing the name of your program every 6 months because something about it doesn't feel right. You just feel stuck. Or perhaps you're creating a different offer, but the name you're choosing for it sounds very similar to the previous program. Another sign is that when you go to explain your offer on a sales call, you might find yourself explaining your offer differently each time. Another sign is that you keep asking AI or other tools to rewrite the same section of copy because you just don't feel that it's right yet. So that constant tweaking usually is a perspective problem. You've been in it so long that it's just so hard for you to step out of it and see why things are feeling foggy right now. It's almost like you just can't let your brain breathe long enough to come up with new ideas or look at your copy and messaging objectively. So all these things are signs that are telling you that you need an outside eye to peer into your business. Okay, so I want to make this really tangible for you by giving you a client example. And there's 2 reasons why I want to show you this example or talk about it here, is because 1, this demonstrates that you can be so in your business and so in the middle of launching a new product or relaunching something that it's hard to step out of it and objectively look at what you're putting out there so that you get high conversions. The second reason is because sometimes you don't need a messaging strategist or a conversion copywriter to come in and do it all for you. Sometimes there are certain points in the process where you want them to either write for you or come in and give that second eye. Okay, so this is a client of mine who I just worked with, and she brought me in actually at the very beginning of her launch funnel to review something that's very, very, very critical. Okay, so she asked me to review the page where people were signing up for a free teaching series that was going to eventually lead into selling a new program that she has. So that page was an opt-in page, or what some people would call a lead page. But basically, it's a mini sales page because you're trying to convince and persuade this person to join this free teaching series. Okay. So she reached out because she knew something important, and she knew that she was too close to it. The launch was coming up fast, and she had been working on the program for weeks and probably even months. All right. So she knew that she just couldn't step away from it long enough to even look at the copy objectively anymore. And this page mattered a lot because if people didn't opt in for that teaching series, then the rest of the launch wasn't going to work. Okay, right? You have to get people in at the beginning of the funnel. That is sometimes the most important place to bring a messaging strategist or a conversion copywriter in to look at that first piece of content that someone's going to land on. All right. So her opt-in page mattered a lot. If you've ever thought, my business has evolved, but my website still feels pieced together, or my expertise is strong, but my messaging doesn't reflect the level I operate at, I want you to know right now that you're not alone. Every established business owner reaches this point where your growth just outpaces your message. And when your message doesn't match the offer or the service you provide now, it costs you credibility, clarity, and premium opportunities. So I'm here today to tell you that I want to help you go from second guessing how you're presenting your offers and expertise to showing up online with messaging that feels cohesive and aligned with the caliber of your work. Today, I'm inviting you to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me to determine whether you need a strategic copy audit or high converting done for you copy that finally reflects the level you're operating at. Go to the show notes today to book your call or visit www.whitehousesm.com. If people weren't going to opt into it, then that means that she was going to have no audience for this training that she was going to do. And ultimately, it was going to lead to no program sales, right? Because it all trickles down. Do you see how that happens? Someone comes to the opt-in page to join her in that free series. And then at the end of the series, she's going to announce what her program is that she's selling. And then she's going to funnel people into that. So I reviewed the page and did a complete audit of it. Okay, I helped refine the messaging. I also gave her a video walkthrough of everything that needed to be changed on that page or was missing. And then I gave her a checklist. So she had it all written down in one place and it would be really easy for her to manage. She only had a couple days to go back and she was going to fix the copy herself. She didn't need me to write it, but she needed that objective eye. So guess what? We did this. She put in place my recommendations and her program actually sold out before that cart even closed. So this doesn't happen because of one page alone. Okay. There's many, many, many pieces of the funnel here, but that first page that people are looking at is so important, right? Because it's either going to attract them in or it's going to repel them. All right. But I wanted to tell you this example because it really just shows the importance of having the right message at the right point in the funnel and bringing someone in at that moment to look at it. So as you can see, as your business grows, messaging gaps can become very expensive. When you have these gaps existing, sales calls can take longer. People hesitate before buying. Marketing your business and your products, your services and offers can feel very hard. And sometimes you actually end up attracting the wrong type of clients if over time your messaging hasn't been changed to match where your business is now, or if your website, your sales page, the copy on these pages haven't changed. I don't want to see you at the point where you're attracting that wrong type of client. So as a business owner, when you start to see these things happening, you might assume that the problem is either your offer, you might think it's your price, or even the platform you're using to sell your offer. Okay. But most often, the real issue is simply that the copy hasn't been evaluated objectively for conversions and it hasn't caught up to the caliber of your work. Now, I want to say really quickly that there are a lot of things out there that can help you right now, right? There's more tools than ever that can promise to help you audit your copy, right? There's AI tools, there's copy templates you can download. A lot of people have prompt libraries, and these tools can absolutely help you write faster, but they can't replace that perspective because the real challenge at higher levels of business, it's not producing the words, it's not writing the words, it's actually doing the diagnosing. It's diagnosing what the message actually needs to say to attract that right buyer to your business and into your funnel. As I wrap up here, I just want to acknowledge that maybe you've been listening to this season and have been recognizing yourself in these conversations. And if you have, that is a really good sign. It means that your business has grown and it means that you've reached a stage where refinement really, really matters. So sometimes the smartest move isn't working harder on your messaging, it's actually getting the right perspective on it. So if you'd like help evaluating and diagnosing whether your website or sales page copy reflects that level that you're operating at now, you can book a complimentary copy chat with me. And what that's going to do is you're going to have 30 minutes with me where we can talk through maybe some of these challenges you're having right now. We could see if you and I are right to work together. I always like to make sure that I'm the right conversion copywriter and messaging strategist for you and that you're the right client for me. You know, if you're going to invest your money somewhere, you want to make sure that you're working with the right person. And we can talk about what that right next step is. I have a couple different offers. I do done for you copy, where I'm just writing the copy for you. But a lot of ways that people start to work with me is just by doing a 1-hour messaging strategy session. And with that, you get the messaging strategy blueprint. The messaging strategy blueprint is invaluable because it's a document that's going to tell you What are your brand promises? What are the pain points and the desires of your clients? What are your key brand messaging pillars? This document, even if we never work together again, you can go and you can take it to any marketing agency. You could give it to a VA, a social media manager, and you can say, this is who I am. Do the work that you need me to do, right? So it's like a foundational document for your business. So if you're interested in any of these things, or you just want to have a quick chat, you can go to my website at www.whitehousesm.com. There's a button at the top that says to book a consult with me or a copy chat. And I would love to talk with you. And if you're thinking right now, you know what, Gina, I don't even know if the messaging that I have right now on my website and my sales pages, if it even reflects my business right now, and if it even matches the caliber of the good work that I do. And if that's you, download the Copy Caliber checklist. It's a quick checklist you could go through within like 10 minutes, and it will tell you if your messaging needs to change and if it's not matching the level that you're working at right now. So you can get that at www.whitehousesm.com/caliber. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode today. I hope that you see the value in taking a step back and having someone come in and really looking at your copy and your messaging. Because you know what, as business owners, we just have to go back and we have to look at this. We have to remind ourselves, at least every 6 months to a year, and go back and look at our messaging and say, does this still reflect what I'm doing and who I work with? Because if things have even changed just slightly, then it could be affecting your sales and really just underselling what you do. So thank you again, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on this episode of 7-Figure Copy. If this conversation resonated and you know that your messaging, that your copy is not matching the caliber of the wonderful work that you do, then please reach out to me at whitehousesm.com to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat. Let's see if we're the right fit for each other and if I'm the right conversion copywriter for you. And I'll see you next time.
This podcast is produced, mixed, and edited by Cardinal Studio. For more information about how to start your own podcast, please visit www.cardinalstudio.co or email Mike at cardinalstudio.co. You can also find the details in the show notes.